All right, everybody, man, what's going on? And welcome to another edition of SWACtalk, the show where we cover the SWAC inside and out. I am your tour guide around the SWAC Sea Wells, and I'm coming at you with this Week 13 recap. Final week of the regular season is over. SWAC Championship coming up next week. So we'll talk about all the action that took place today, yesterday. Um, as usual, a very interesting week of SWAC football. Hey, what can I say? If y'all know me, then y'all know how I feel right now. Not doing the best, but gonna power through this and gonna go ahead and recap these games, man. As usual, the socials are scrolling on the screen down below, so go ahead and get those to follow, a like. Um, you can donate a little bit to support the show with the Cash App $ Swag Talk. And while you're here, if you haven't done so already, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna have some stuff dropping in the next few days, man. Whenever all this news starts to hit the wire this week, hit that notification bell to be alerted to any videos that I upload because this is coaching search season about to kick off. So there'll probably be videos that I drop from time to time outside of my normal Wednesday and Sunday schedule. So don't miss those by getting that notification that they're there. Also like the videos and share them, and feel free to comment on how you feel about this week's action. So with that being said, man, we're gonna jump directly into this. We're not gonna waste no time. We're gonna talk about the Turkey Day Classic first. Alabama State defeated Tuskegee by a score of 43-9. This game was never really close. I think Alabama State basically controlled this game from the start. They um they jumped on Tuskegee by a score of 17-0 before Tuskegee got a safety on I think it was a blocked punt. Um, Alabama State scored another field goal to make the halftime score 20-2. Tuskegee got their first touchdown in the third quarter when they got a 43-yard pass from Williams to O'Neal, and then Alabama State ran off the next few points with the field goal and three touchdowns. Ja'Cory Merritt had a huge game, three touchdowns on the night for him, two rushing, one receiving. And the Hornets just closed out this season, really strong. They finished 5-6 on the year, 3-5 overall. Tuskegee dropped to 3-7 and 2-3 overall. Alabama State held Tuskegee to 9 first downs. The Hornets had 22, 68 yards rushing for Tuskegee, 188 for Alabama State. Alabama State 4.3 yards per carry and three touchdowns. Tuskegee 3.1 yards per carry and no touchdowns. 144 yards passing for Tuskegee, 6 of 26, one touchdown, one interception. 223 yards for Alabama State, 21 of 28, one touchdown, no interceptions. Total offense, Tuskegee 212 on 48 plays, 4.4 yards per play, two fumbles, and they lost one. Four penalties for 40 yards. Alabama State 411 yards, 5.7 yards per play, 72 plays, one fumble, and they didn't lose it. Eight penalties for 69 yards. Tuskegee punted 7 times for a 40-yard average. Alabama State 4 punts for a 27-yard average. Time of possession 21 minutes and 34 seconds for Tuskegee, 38 minutes and 26 seconds for Alabama State. Tuskegee 2 of 10 on third down, 0 for 1 on fourth down. They never got into the red zone, and they had 2 sacks. Alabama State 10 of 16 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. They had 6 for 6 in the red zone, and they had 5 sacks on the night. Individually, Tuskegee was led by Bryson Williams, 5 of 19 passing, 110 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and sacked twice. Lewis Williams, 1 of 5 for 34 yards and a sack. Joe Owens got the start for Alabama State. He was 20 of 27 for 209 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He was sacked twice. Miles Crawley, 1 for 1 for 14 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. Terry Bryant led Tuskegee in rushing with 9 carries for 61 yards. He had a 6.8 yard per carry average and a 44-yard run as a long. Dontre Manley led Alabama State with 10 carries for 97 yards and a touchdown, averaged 9.7 yards per carry. Ja'Cory Merritt, 19 carries for 65 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jamal Pritchard led Tuskegee with 2 catches for 54 yards. Jonathan Montreville, 3 catches, 47 yards, and Latravian O'Neal, 1 catch for 43 yards and a touchdown. Tevin Sharp led Alabama State with 1 catch for 48 yards. Keyron Jones, 4 catches, 42 yards. Brandon McDuffie, 1 catch, 35 yards. Ja'Cory Merritt, 3 catches, 20 yards, and a touchdown. Carl Matthews led Tuskegee with 13 tackles. Woodley Apollon, 9 tackles. Frederick Austin, 9 tackles. Wesley Apollon, 8 tackles. Antonio Kennan, 7 tackles. Kobe Mitchell, 6. John Cross, 5 tackles for loss. Carl Matthews, 2. Kennan, Woodley Apollon, Hicks, they each had 1 tackle for loss apiece. Wesley Apollon and Samuels each had a half a tackle for loss apiece. Sacks were by Matthews with 1, and both Apollons had a half a sack apiece. No interceptions, no forced fumbles. Alabama State was led in tackles by Ershaw Davis with 6, Jake Howard with 5, Culpepper, Whitehurst each had 3, Webster and Gaddy 2 tackles for loss. Howard 2.5, Gaddy, Long, Isaac, and Malone each had 1 tackle for loss apiece. Half a tackles for loss were by Webster, Whitehurst, and Brown. Sacks came from Gaddy, Long, Isaac, and Malone each had 1. Half a sack apiece goes to Howard and Webster. Malone had a forced fumble. Interception was by Davis. He returned it for 34 yards. So, Alabama State came out and they did what they had to do. Nice win, a rivalry game. Tuskegee typically gives them a run, and sometimes they actually win this game, but Alabama State really, took them out of the mix early and was able to, enjoy their season-ending game by blowing this team away. So, nice, solid win for Alabama State, and now they head into the Eddie Robinson Jr. era, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll keep tabs on what the Hornets are going to do at this point moving forward. Next game we're going to cover, Mississippi Valley picks up a nice season-ending victory over Prairie View by a score of 24-19. Delta Devils win 4 games on the season, so that's a very successful season for them. 3-5 in conference, 4-7 overall. Prairie View drops to 6-4 and 5-2 in conference. They're heading to the SWAC championship game. We talked about this on SWAC Smoke. If how did this game really matter, wins and losses wise? I feel like you need to, you still need to win. Just because you clinched the division don't mean you don't need to win this game. I thought this was a game that Prairie View still needed to win because you need as much momentum as possible going into the Jackson State game. But Valley played a tremendous game early, and Prairie View tried to make a late run, but they couldn't get back in it. Valley jumped on Prairie View by a score of 14-0. Ja'Cory Rankin, 60-yard pass from Easton to get the scoring started. Caleb Johnson, 6-yard run for Valley to put them up 14-0. Jaden Stewart got his first of his 2 touchdowns on the night with a 2-yard touchdown run in the second quarter, made the score 14-7. Valley would get another Caleb Johnson touchdown to make the score 21-7 to make the halftime score 21-7. Prairie View would get on the board in the third quarter when Jaden Stewart ran a 2-yard touchdown run to make the score 21-13. Valley got a field goal from 41 yards out to make the score 24-13. And with 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the game, Jaden Stewart got another touchdown, this time from 8 yards out, to make the score 24-19. And we'll take a quick look at the ending of this game. After Prairie View got their touchdown, they missed the 2-point conversion. Valley got the ball at their 24-yard line and basically ran the clock out. They got it down to the Prairie View 48, and they punted with about 54 seconds left in the game. Prairie View got the ball at their own 9, and they drove to their 27 when passed through an interception, and Valley got the ball back and nailed out the clock with 13 seconds to go. So this was a really good game for Valley. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, any success that this team has is huge. Like I said, they made a commitment to Coach Dancy a couple of weeks ago, so the team is building. You know, if they can get some guys in the and not lose too many guys in the portal, this team can be dangerous in that mid-pack way in this division, because this division is tough. And you know, I don't think Valley may not ever get to that contending level, but they can be a dangerous team if they can continue to build this program. 20 first downs for Valley, 19 for Prairie View. 207 yards on the ground for Valley, 4.1 yards per carry. They ran the ball 51 times, 2 touchdowns. Prairie View, 79 yards rushing, 28 carries, 2.8 yards per carry. They did have 3 touchdowns. 182 yards passing for Valley, 8 of 12, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Prairie View, 217 yards passing, 21 of 36, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Valley, 389 yards of offense on 63 plays, 6.2 yards per play. They did fumble the ball 4 times. They lost 1. So even with, possible turnovers that they were able to avert, they still were able to win this game. 6 penalties for Valley, 60 yards. Prairie View, 296 on the night. Total offense, 64 plays, 4.6 yards per play. 1 fumble, and they lost it. So they had 3 turnovers on the night that can do you in. Although one of those turnovers came at the very end, so that's almost like not really anything. 5 penalties for 45 yards for Prairie View. 3 punts for Valley for 34 yards. Prairie View punted 3 times for 44 yards average. Time of possession, Valley 33 minutes and 24 seconds. 26 minutes and 36 seconds for Prairie View. Third downs, Valley was 4 of 11, 2 of 2 on 4th downs. They were 2 of 3 in the red zone, and they had 3 sacks on the night. Prairie View 5 of 12 on 3rd down, 1 for 2 on 4th downs, 3 or 4 in the red zone, and they had no sacks at all. So Valley did a good job of protecting the quarterback. They only had 12 pass attempts, so that helped as well. Easton went the whole way, 8 of 12, 182 yards, 1 touchdown, long pass of 60. Pass, 21 of 36, 217, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 3 sacks. Caleb Johnson, 40 carries, man. They went old school with this dude, man. This dude put up Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams carry numbers, 40 carries in 2021 by a running back. That's amazing. 40 carries, 193 yards. He only lost 4 yards on the night. So Prairie View did not do a good job of getting stops in the backfield. 2 touchdowns. Longest run was 27, 4.8 yards per carry. Easton, 6 carries, 14 yards. Jaden Stewart led Prairie View with 16 carries for 49 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pass, 5 carries, 19 yards. DeCorey Rankin, 2 catches, 79 yards for Valley and a touchdown. Jarius Clayton, 1 catch for 49 yards. Antonio Mullins, 8 catches, 96 yards for Prairie View. Stewart, 3 catches, 34 yards. Trajan Spiller, 4 catches, 25 yards. Valley was led in tackles by Dion Reed with 12, Jared Garner with 8, Von Mies with 7, Markel Gladney 6, Keontae Daniels 5, Jaron Fox 5, Jalen Bell 4, tackles for loss. Garner and Bell each had 2.5. Thomas, Kane, Reed, and Lewis each had a half a tackle for loss apiece. Sacks were by Garner and Bell with 1 each, and then Thomas and Lewis each had a half a sack apiece. Forced fumble was by Bell. Fumble recovery also by Bell. Interceptions were by Martin and Daniels. Prairie View was led by Drake Cheatham with 14 tackles, Bryce Turner 9, Troy James and Tariq Mulmore with 8 apiece. Smith with 6. Smith with 7. Hudson with 7. Campbell with 6. Reese and Green and Carter with 5. Tackles for loss, Hudson 2.5. James 1.5. Cheatham 1. Campbell 1. Victorian 1. Smith Carter each had a half a tackle for loss apiece. No sacks, forced fumble by Hudson, fumble recovery by Hudson, no interceptions. So all in all, this was a very good game for Valley. Like I said, they did what they had to do. They came out, they played hard, and they got them a nice road victory, their second road victory of the year. So a really, a really positive season for Valley. Not a damaging loss for Prairie View, but it still was not a good loss, heading into the championship game. They're gonna have to regroup and get ready for Jackson State. So we'll see how that game goes. We're gonna preview that game next week. And we'll see how if Prairie View can rebound. Now, the next game I want to talk about, man, y'all gonna have to bear with me for 1 second, man. I need to take a quick moment of silence because I am not doing good, man. I am hurting, man. Oh man, this game was all I can do is shake my head, man. Yeah, I'm speechless, man. I spent most of the night sitting in the dome, shaking my head, and just not really understanding what's going on. But the GMen picked up a nice victory in the Bayou Classic, 29-26. This year, they made the kick to win the game. 2019, they got the final kick blocked. This year, they got it right. Coach Graves picks up a big victory for Grambling. Coach Rollins. Grambling played a hell of a game, man. They controlled this game. I would easily say, I won't say easily, but I would say that this may have been the best game Grambling played all year. I thought Southern played well in spurts. Defensively, they did not play well. They had no answer for the quarterback run of Grambling. They did not tackle well. They did not cover well. They gave up multiple big plays in situations where you needed to get stops. The offense had a lull in the middle portion of the game, but I thought they rebounded well, and they put together some nice drives to score, especially in the second half. I saw a couple creative things from Southern offensively, but you know, I you know I feel like the guy who played this game probably should have been playing most of the season. Obviously the defense doesn't make a play, then your offense it doesn't really matter. But I thought Elijah Walker had a solid game. Grambling played every quarterback on their roster. I thought they all had some success doing things. Alden Clark had a couple good runs. Um, Pierce came in, he made a couple plays. Walker, like I said, he made some big throws that were, kind of up in the air, 50-50 type plays, but Southern never made them a 50-50 ball. Grambling was inspired, man. They came out, they played hard. They actually, I think they took the fight to Southern, and Southern, tried to respond, but they just couldn't. And this game for Southern is a microcosm of how the season was, man. It just was and like I said, man, I'm sitting here, man. I'm hurting, man. It just ah. But let's go ahead with the box score because I don't have nothing else to say without just going off. Um, Grambling and Southern, this was a field goal fest for like 2 quarters. One thing that if Grambling could have finished drives, this game could have got very ugly. Grambling actually kicked like 3 field goals in prime field position, and they got 4. Let's see, they kicked a 39-yard field goal, a 36-yard field goal, a 27-yard field goal, another 27-yard field goal, and then they won the game on a 25-yard field goal. So those are very close field goals that could have easily been touchdowns if they could have converted those third downs. This could have been a different game. Southern kicked long field goals. Jackson made a 45-yard field goal for Southern, and then he made a 49-yarder as well. He missed the extra point, which probably would not have really factored in the margin of victory if you don't get a stop. But Grambling did, Grambling played well. I thought they really just came out and did what they had to do to start this game off. Statistically, Grambling 21 first down, Southern 18. Southern 241 yards on the ground. Grambling 347 on the ground. Man, Southern got absolutely gashed on the ground by Grambling. 48 carries, 7.2 yards per carry. 6 yards per carry for Southern. Grambling 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns for Southern. Nobody could tackle nobody on the ground. Um, I just it's baffling, man, looking at these numbers. Southern 129 yards passing, 10 of 18, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I think the interception is what turned this game around. Um, Southern had an opportunity because they got a good stop finally and got some good field position and ran a trick play, was unsuccessful. Grambling got the ball and had a fumble, but it was ruled incomplete. Then they finished driving and scored. But this was one of those kind of games that it hinges on a couple plays here or there. Grambling 153 yards passing, 9 of 22, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Total offense, Grambling 500 yards. That's probably more than they had in 2 or 3 games combined. This offense has not been good all year. They played Southern. They looked like world beaters. 70 plays, 7.1 yards per play. No fumbles, no interceptions, 5 penalties, 45 yards. Southern 370 total offense, 58 plays, 6.4 yards per play, 1 fumble. They lost it. 7 penalties for 55 yards. 3 points for 40-yard average for Southern, 3 points for 38-yard average for Grambling. Time of possession, Grambling 34 minutes, Southern 26 minutes, 6 of 11 for Southern on third down. Grambling 9 of 17. Every reaction that y'all getting from me right now is very genuine because I ain't looked at these stats at all. Typically, I look at the stats after the game, and I'm looking at this for the first time. So all of this is my genuine reaction, man. I am like blown away. Southern no 4th down attempts. Grambling 1 for 1. Southern 2 of 2 in the red zone. Grambling 6 for 6. Southern 1 sack. Grambling no sack. Individually, Skelton played a solid game, minus that 1 interception, which he probably should have kept that ball. But it was a play they was trying to hit. Grambling defended it well. 10 of 18, 129 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, no sacks. Walker 9 of 20 for Grambling, 150 yards, 153 yards, 1 touchdown. He was sacked once. Pierce 0 for 1. James 0 for 1. Gerard Sims led Southern with 14 carries for 71 yards. Skelton 10 carries, 60 yards. Dillon 8 carries, 33 yards. McLean 2 carries, 31 yards. Ben 1 carry, 22 yards and a touchdown. Walker 19 carries, 168 yards and a touchdown. 8.8 yards per carry. C.J. Russell 21 carries, 101 yards. 4.8 yards per carry. Alden Clark 3 carries, 51 yards, 17 yards per carry. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Ethan Howard, 3 catches, 49 yards for Southern on a touchdown. He did have a big touchdown that was overturned. It was a 38-yard catch, but it was a touchdown. They ruled his knee was down. Jamal Washington, 2 catches, 30 yards. Greg White, 4 catches, 79 yards and a touchdown for Grambling. Darrell Clark, 2 catches, 42 yards. Defensively, Chase Foster led Southern with 9 tackles. Jones, 8. Cotton, 7. Tate, 7. Anderson, 6. Peterson, 6. Nash, 4. Ivy, 4. Smith, 3. Tackles for loss. Tate, 1. Anderson, 1. Nash, Davis, Lewis, and Jordan each had a half a tackle for loss apiece. Sack was by Anderson. No forced fumbles. Grambling, Alden, Clark, 6. Breton, 6. Martin, 6. Foley, 5. Elder, 5. Thomas, 4. Lewis, 4. Tackles for loss. Cash, Foley, Carter, and Dotson each had 1 tackle for loss apiece. No sacks. Fumble recovery was by Foley. Interception was by Martin. And that's that. Man. This was Coach Rollins' season in a nutshell, man. You let one of the worst offenses run the ball down your throat for over 300 yards. It is what it is, man. Man. All right, let's move on to the last game of the week. And this game was not close at all either. This was a game I thought could go either way. I picked FAMU to win this game. FAMU, I guess, did not decide to show up, and Southeastern did them dirty, man. They wore that, they wore them out, man, and it was not pretty at all. Um, the score was 38-0 in the fourth quarter before FAMU got on the board. Two touchdowns in the fourth quarter to make the final margin 38-14, including one touchdown with 10 seconds left in the game. Southeastern, they got what they wanted. 21-yard touchdown run from Kovacs to start the game off. Kelly to Green, Kelly to Given, 6-yard touchdown. Kelly to Jones, 9-yard touchdown. Field goal for 21 yards made the halftime score 24-0. Kovacs, 20-yard pass from Kelly. Jones, his second touchdown from Kelly, this time for 39 yards out. Xavier Smith got a 23-yard pass from McKay to get FAMU on the board with 5.5 minutes left in the game. So this one of the worst defenses in the FCS football almost pitched the shutout. And then Manny go 2-yard pass from McKay to finish the game off at 38-14. FAMU 16 first downs, the Lions 29. 53 yards rushing for FAMU, which is, so I thought FAMU's running game had to be essential in this game. They fell behind early and they could not get that established. 19 carries on the night, 2.8 yards per carry. Southeastern 158 yards on the ground, 44 carries, 3.6 yards per carry, one touchdown. 238 through the air for the Rattlers, 18 of 40, two touchdowns, one interception. Southeastern 31 of 49, 4 touchdowns. They did have an interception, 345 through the air, 291 total offense for FAMU, 59 plays, 4.9 yards per play. They did not fumble the ball. They had 11 penalties for 107 yards. Southeastern 503 yards on 93 plays. They almost ran 100 plays in this game. 5.4 yards per play. They fumbled once, didn't lose it. So each team had one turnover, 5 penalties for 36 yards. FAMU punted 8 times for 45 yards. Southeastern 3 punts for 42 yards. 21 minutes and 47 seconds time of possession for FAMU. 38-13 for the Lions. FAMU 2 of 11 on third down. Southeastern 11 of 21. FAMU 0 for 2. Southeastern 3 of 4. 1 for 1 in the red zone for FAMU. 4 for 6 for the Lions. FAMU did have 4 sacks on the night and 1 for the Lions. Individual stats. McKay 18 of 40, 238, 2 touchdowns. 1 interception, had a longer 41 and 1 sack. Kelly 31 of 45, 345, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times. Cephas Johnson came in and went 0 for 4. He was sacked once. Bishop Barnett 9 carries for 38 yards. McKay 4 carries for 9 yards. Jones 11 carries for 55 yards for Southeastern, 5 yards per carry. Kelly 13 carries, 38 yards. Kovacs 1 carry, 21 yards and a touchdown. Xavier Smith led FAMU with 9 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown. Shareed 5 catches, 86 yards. Manigo 3 catches, 47 yards and a touchdown. Jones 5 catches, 85 yards for Southeastern and 2 touchdowns. Given 6 catches, 74 yards and a touchdown. Dingle 5 catches, 41 yards. Kovacs 3 catches, 39 yards and a touchdown. Marquis Bell 16 tackles for Southeastern. For FAMU, 16 tackles for Bell. Collier 9 tackles. So that's 25 tackles for your safeties. Obviously, that means that they were having a lot of success moving the ball. You were making a lot of tackles downfield. Williams 6 tackles. Bowler 6 tackles. Morgan 6 tackles. Hunt 6 tackles. Mayweather 5 tackles for loss. Hunt with 2. Williams with 2. Collier with 1. Isaiah Land did not record a stat. He did have a pass breakup. That's very telling that your best defensive lineman did not impact this game at all. Sacks were by Hunt and Williams. Forced fumble was by Bell. Interception was by Collier. So your safeties, they showed up, but nothing else really happened. Fisher 7 tackles for Southeastern. Henderson 6. Wright, Mason each had 5. Delahuse 4 tackles for loss. Wright, Crawford, Randall, and Graves each had a half a tackle for loss apiece, and half a sacks went to Crawford and Graves. No forced fumbles, and the interception was by Henderson. So this game really was honestly, man. I know some people thought this game could end up this way. I thought this game would be a lot closer than what it was. Southeastern jumped all over them, and they basically controlled this game from start to finish. FAMU was 5.5 minutes from being shut out, so not a good look for them. But you made the playoffs. You see where you go next year. Can you keep yourself in the SWAC race? Something has to give at some point, but you can't you can't have this happen if you don't get there. So they made it there. They lost, but hey, what can you say? Final SWAC standings for the regular season: Jackson State 8-0 in conference, 10-1 overall. They are on an 8-game winning streak. FAMU 7-1 in conference, 9-3 overall. Finished with a 1-game losing streak. Well, not a losing streak, but finished with 1 loss in a row. I hate that. I don't know how to say that. Alabama A&M 5-3, 7-3 overall, 4-game winning streak to end the season. Alabama State 3-5, 5-6 overall. They finished on a 2-game winning streak. Valley 3-5, 4-7 overall. They finished on a 2-game winning streak. So Valley, clap it up. Two win streaks on the season. So clap it up for Valley. Bethune-Cookman 2-6, 2-9 overall. Prairie View is limping into the SWAC championship game. They are 6-2, 7-4 overall. They are on a 3-game losing streak. That was one of the things that I kind of questioned. Could Prairie View, maintain that bullseye on their back? Right now, it's not looking that good. Alcorn 5-3, 6-5 overall. They've lost their last game. Southern 3-5, 4-3 over, 4-7 overall. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Grambling 3-5, 4-7 overall. I will put Grambling above Southern. They beat them. So Grambling to me is 3rd place in division. Southern 4th. Texas Southern 2-6, 2-8 overall. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Pine Bluff 1-7, 2-9 overall. They're on a 2-game losing streak. So not a lot of teams closed out the season with wins. So this is going to be an interesting spring. Like I said, there's a lot of possible coaching news to take place in the next couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. Our last game of the week is our last game of the SWAC season is. Oh, what did I do? The last game of our SWAC season is the SWAC championship game. Prairie View is at Jackson State. That game is a 3:00 kickoff, ESPN2 broadcast. So make sure y'all check that out. That's Saturday, December 4th. So that's this Saturday. 3:00 kickoff, ESPN2. Tigers and Panthers hook up in the vet for the SWAC championship. Prairie View they're going to have to do some rebuilding and regrouping. They're coming in facing a very hot Jackson State team, and we're going to talk about all of that. Before I close out, man, I want to just I don't even want to call this a rant, but, I know that there's, a couple camps of people, the people who know that HBCU football is about the pageantry and the band, and people who want who are there just for football. I kind of find myself more in the football camp. I don't mind the bands, but I don't go there for the band. That's an extra thing for me. But none of that matters when my team is losing. And I've been going to the Bayou Classic since I was yay high to a grasshopper. But to me, man, this game, when you're a fan of a team and your team is not playing well, you've had a bad season and they're playing horrendously most of the night. I do not like people sitting around me that ain't that talk about nothing that has to do with the game. Walking every play, man. They had somebody walk in front of me right before the game winning kick. People standing up, and I don't mind if you stand up, when the game is going on because that's just how that goes. But you're standing up for no reason. You're blocking my view. I'm telling you, my wife can't see. You getting an attitude. Y'all yapping about all kind of bullshit that don't got nothing to do with the game, man. Take that shit out in the concourse, bro. I I know I sound sour and salty, bro, because I am right now. I just watched my team lose to my rivals, and we're 4-7 when probably should have been a lot better. Um, I'm trying to, fuss and yell about the game, and people looking at me like I'm the one that's wrong. I, bro, I don't know what to do, man. I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Um, that's just something that I'm sitting there, man, just like, oh my God, it's just, I feel where some of y'all coming from with just being there for the game, man. I feel where y'all coming from. It Man, it was rough, bro. Hey, I'm signing out, man. I'm about to get on get on up out of here. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'll be back on Wednesday for the SWAC Championship preview. We're probably gonna talk a little basketball, not too in depth, but we're gonna talk a little basketball SWAC Championship preview. Um, I'm sure they probably be there and announce the all SWAC teams by that point, so we'll talk about that. Hopefully, we'll be talking about the Southern Coach opening. We'll see what Gremlin does. We'll talk about that. Again, salute to Coach Graves, man. Big W for you, man. I'm happy for you. I'm really happy that he was able to get that opportunity, and he had those boys ready to play. So salute to Coach Graves. You started as a Jaguar. We still love you. So salute to you on that route. Other than that, man, SWAC Smoke live, obviously, again next Thursday as usual. SWAC Championship recap next Sunday. And whatever else pops up, man, we're going to talk about. So with that being said, I'm about to get on up out of here, man. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. And I'll see you guys when I see y'all. We out.